Welcome to Amplifying Wellness with TLC, a place where we discuss your self-care and wellness through guest stories, information, and tips on how to live happier and healthier lives. We're twin life coaching and business services with your host, myself, Barb Schutz, and my business partner and sister, Tara Lehman. We care about increasing awareness about self-care and mental health through our podcast, coaching, consulting, workshops, and our supportive new communities. To find out more about our services or our community, please visit www.twinlifecoaching.ca. As a reminder to everybody, of course, this podcast is for sharing of stories and information only. It's not intended to be or replace any medical advice you are seeking or have received. So if you need that, please make sure you reach out to your doctor or healthcare provider.
So Barb and I decided this week we are going to do a podcast episode dedicated to goals and how to ensure we can all stay on track. It can be easy to forget about that goal, maybe that New Year's resolution you had at the beginning of the year, or perhaps a performance appraisal goal that you had, and generally they're a year out as well. So we want to talk a little bit about why sometimes goals don't happen and a few reasons that and suggestions today that can help you with achieving those goals.
So the first one we want to talk about is accountability. That's a huge one. Whenever you set a goal for yourself, whether it be, just a basic one, like I'm going to go to bed at 10 o'clock every night, or I'm going to apply to 5 jobs next week. All goals need someone to hold you accountable. It's really, really challenging to hold yourself accountable to goals. So it's really important that when you do have goals, that you have someone else there to help hold you accountable. So perhaps that's your partner that you live with, a family member, a friend, one of your life coaches, or some other support. But I'm sure you'll agree, Tara, that having somebody there to help you be accountable to your goals is really big. Without that, it's actually less success on achieving your goals.
I agree. And I think you and I are both each other's accountability partner for most of our goals.
Yes, we absolutely are. We definitely, people out there, you should see us. We text each other our accountabilities whenever we need them.
Exactly.
It's really, really important that you have somebody to do that with and somebody you trust. It's got to be someone that you value and trust.
Absolutely. I agree. So now let's talk about why some people set those goals, whether it be maybe it's a career goal with your manager or it's that New Year's resolution and it doesn't happen. And a lot of the reason behind that is because you don't have a purpose or understand the why behind your goal. So if you want to say in your performance appraisal that, yes, I'm going to take XYZ course in order to build my professional development, or I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year, but you have no reason or purpose behind it that means something to you. And it needs to be personal. If it doesn't mean anything to you, either in your career or, at home, then you may fail because you don't feel there's a reason to move forward with it. And it can just be forgotten, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So without that purpose or that why behind it, we tend to waste our time, so to speak, on other things that are seemingly maybe more important, but perhaps this is actually their priority. So really understand why you set the goal, what it means to you or your organization if it is a career goal, and what is it going to provide you when the goal happens.
Yeah, I also think along with that is you're saying the word you, and I think that's really, really important. It's got to be about yourself and what you're getting out of it, not what your husband gets out of it or your employer gets out of it, but it's got to be something that you get out of it.
Yeah, which takes me to the next point we want to talk about, and that's not just writing down a goal such as in 2024, I want to lose 50 pounds. It's about making that goal smart. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and resourced, and time-bound. So how do you make that goal smart? Well, first of all, let's be specific about it. We know we want to lose 50 pounds, and we have our doctors okay already to do that. We know we want to do it in 2024. So we know it's measurable, and we know it's time-bound by the end of the year we want to accomplish this. So now we need to look at this. Is it attainable? Well, maybe it is if I get that accountability coach, Barb works a lot with nutrition. And so this is a great example where we can say, we need someone to help us keep, accountable to eating those fruits and vegetables. You also need to make sure it's a relevant goal for you. If it's, you want to, learn that new thing or take that course at work and it's not relevant to your job, it's not relevant to your goals, it's not relevant to what you hope to attain personally, then it may not be a great goal for you. So making sure it's relevant. And then when we look at all of that, we want to make sure we have all those resources to get it done. So if we looked at losing 50 pounds in 2024, and then we decided that we are going to get that by end of February, it may not be attainable, and we may not have the resources to do that. Time being a big one. You need longer than that, right? So
yeah.
Make sure your goals are SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and resource. The resource is something that we at Twin Life Coaching and Business Services have added to SMART goals, and time bound.
Absolutely. And whenever you have a really large goal like that, when you are working with a coach, Tara and I specifically, we look at your SMART goal, but then we break it down. So, when it's a giant goal like that, you got to look at other pieces of it. So she's mentioned things like resources. You need to be able to break that goal down into something more achievable, short-term achievable things, using things you already have and tools you already have. So, for example, if we stick with that, losing 50 pounds in a year, and you break it down to, okay, I'm going to lose, a few pounds a month. How am I going to do that? Well, look what you already have. You go to the grocery store all the time. So now just make a list. It's something really easy that you can do. It's a tool you can take with you and stick to it. Don't don't even go down the chip aisle. Avoid the chip aisle. It's the simple little tools you can provide yourself, the things that you can do for yourself. Resources, of course, could be an app that you track your meals on, your exercise on. It could be, a coach to kind of support you. It can be all kinds of different things. It could be a journal that you're writing in every day to hold yourself accountable. Yeah. So I think the term KISS, or keep it simple, is a really big one. To make goals achievable. If they're too complicated, that means it's too big, and you got to break it down into something that's reasonable, that you can find things easily to help support that goal.
Yeah. And think, think short-term action plans, right? Like, what can I do this week? Well, maybe that is downloading that app. And let's be honest, there's an app for everything out there.
There absolutely is. There's even apps for grocery shopping. So,
there you go.
The simplest things that, or it could be your family. Get your kids involved. If it's something that's a family related goal, even if it's your own personal weight loss goal, but your kids don't eat healthy either, maybe it's now you get them involved in cooking. It's the simplest little way to provide yourself with a tool by your kids seeing what healthy eating is. So they're like, Mom, that's not healthy. So it's also a way to use your own family resources. Another thing that's really, really important is the time frame. So if you have a dedicated time frame, so your time bound is the end of 2024, December 31st. It's really important that when it's a large goal like that and you have a year you're looking at, or 8 or 9 months, or even a month, to constantly be looking at that. So maybe it's once a week. If we're looking at the weight one, it's kind of easy to think about. You step on the scale once a week, and that is you're checking to see, you're doing a check-in. Okay, my weight's going the wrong way. Do I need to look at my due date and change it? Or just go, hey, look at me, I lost a pound this week. I'm doing really well. I'm on track for my end of year goal. If you don't do that and you go 2 or 3 months without, you're probably slipping from your goal, and you're probably not doing everything that you've promised yourself to do. And now you have to reevaluate your end date. And is it actually achievable? Are you actually going to do it? So it's really important to hold yourself accountable to all those mini goals and those mini due dates, not just the one at the end.
And I think one important piece to put in here is that rewards are really important. But if you're doing something like weight or exercise, don't reward yourself with something that's going to put you back a step.
Yeah. Don't reward yourself with a meal out.
Exactly. Find something else like taking, an evening to read a book or something like that, yeah, isn't going to put you back a step.
Absolutely. Or even really good ones for things like that is to buy yourself a new blouse or a new
Hmm.
pair of shoes you really wanted, something along those lines. But yeah, definitely if a goal is related to food, don't reward yourself with, dessert. That's not
Yeah.
going to be helpful. And there's a lot of goals that have different types of reward systems. But, you should definitely consider some sort of reward, whether it is self-care, me time, send the kids to the
Mhm.
babysitter, or, if you have the money, buying yourself something small as a reward, or even when you hit milestones. So if your weight
Yeah.
loss is a year, then maybe every 3 months, if you've hit your milestone, you reward yourself with a new article of clothing. You reward yourself with a
Yeah.
spa day, something along those lines. It keeps you motivated to move forward.
I think that's the key too, right? The rewards are motivational, which is
Yeah,
another way that we can keep those goals coming. Yeah.
absolutely. Motivation is huge. That's also where your accountability comes in. Your accountability
Yeah.
partners can also be there to motivate you.
So accountability and motivation, those are the things you need.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
rewards.
You always got to have some sort of reward in there.
Yeah. So achieving goals can be very rewarding in itself when they are actually achieved and you do it on time. And we recognize, though, that many people do need help with not only defining that SMART goal, or perhaps those little action steps needed to get to the end goal of, say, the end of the year, if that's what that is. Also understanding the why behind it, to even setting due dates that work for people. Having an accountability partner or coach is vital to your success. So that is why both of us put together a unique goal setting tool that we do use with many clients that really helps you dig deep into these types of things and even includes rewards at certain intervals. We would love to help you with your goal and help you reach it too. And sometimes beat it because you're so motivated to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the best.
That's the best. Yes. If you're interested, send us an email, info@twinlifecoaching.ca, and just let us know what goal you're working on. One of us can then get back to you and help you crush that goal through our coaching services. We will be your accountability partners.
We sure will. Well, it's a little bit of a shorter podcast than normal, but we do want to thank our listeners for joining us on this really important topic today. We hope you're able to take away some key points that might help you on your own goal setting journeys. To learn more about our services and our new supportive Amplifying Your Wellness with TLC community, lots of resources in there, please visit www.twinlifecoaching.ca. And remember, until next time, remember, you've got this.